Hello, I'm finally back on this channel posting a flip through. I have failed miserably at my goal of posting at least once a month, or I was hoping to post more than that. Honestly, it's just been kind of a crazy year, and here we are in June. I set quarterly goals, and in January, one of my big goals was to try to get more view time so that I could monetize. And guess what? I haven't posted. But I realized I had a couple of people call in and say, when are you going to do another flip through? I have this composition notebook that I finished in February, and I was really doing a lot of journaling at the time. I went straight into another journal, really without much prep in here, and I just never went back to this one because I was doing a lot of writing at the time, and honestly, I haven't written in a couple of months now. I go through these weird phases with my actual journaling writing, not art journaling. I do this daily. I decided I would come back and pull this composition notebook out. It's my volume 6. This is the 6th one of these that I've done. With each one, it seems like it takes me longer, but I also work in other art journals and sketchbooks and things. I'm going to come back now and finish this up. I haven't put the dates in here. I always put a pocket, put the dates in here, and there's so many, and it spans the year. So I'm doing these rub-ons. I usually pull out some of my old, we'll call it vintage scrapbook materials. I have a lot of these rub-ons. Some of them are not good anymore. These are actually really, really good. They've come off well, and they're gold, and they're really pretty. They are, I don't know why it matters if I'm telling you where they're from. I don't know where the packaging is right now, but, oh, here it is. These are from, they're from Uniball Signo. I used to love her stuff. She does have really good rub-ons. I remember that. They're very smooth. Some rub-ons just aren't good, and if you know, you know. So I'm putting a dash, and I don't have a dash, so I'm using an I sideways for my dash, and I'm eyeballing these for a reason. They're very quick, and I don't have numbers, so I'm using my gold Deco Color pen to write the year. January, and this is February. Oh no, and I can tell you that I'm out of F's and E's, so we're gonna have to figure that out real quick. We'll use the F. Oh, we'll use the B. That's what we'll do. Oh no, I need the B too, because it's Feb. Let's see, what else can we use for an E? Could we make a W work? Could we make an M work? That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna look a little weird, but we're gonna make this into an E. It's fine. It's all fine. We know what it is. I know what it is, and that's what matters. See, this is what happens. That's funny. It just goes to show you just have to use the resources that you have available. Now it's done, and we can call it good. I've got just a few things that I didn't put in the book, some birthday cards and things that I'm just going to keep here. Put this stuff up. Love these stickers. I don't know if Uniball Signo is still making rub-ons, but there's a plug for her rub-ons there. All right, I'll be back with a flip through. First of all, it's always fun to kind of show you all of these composition notebooks that I have completed together. I have decided to put, I'm probably eventually going to use a white Posca pen or something to add the volumes on here, but for now I just used some masking tape. I like the way that looks. It kind of goes with the whole aesthetic or vibe of the composition notebook and how I decorate the covers. Honestly, I've done so many now. I'm up to volume 6 that I used to could remember just by looking at it which one was first, and I do have the dates on there. Just at a glance, I wanted to put these in some kind of a chronological order. So here they are all together. Volume 1 I started in January of 22. So I've been doing these now for a couple of years. I love them. I don't think I'll stop doing them. So we'll set those to the side. I've got a piece of sketch paper on my work surface here on my table, so it's hopefully not quite as distracting. And again, I used a lot of rub-ons and stickers, masking tape for the cover, and then I always put in a pocket using some scrapbook paper on the inside. I cover it and then put a pocket on so I can put my materials in that as I'm going. I use this as a glue book or a junk journal. I put my junk, or if I get something that I know I want to add in here, I just stick it in here so it's here whenever I sit down for a session with my composition notebook journal. I have actually a YouTube video. I show kind of my process to prep the composition notebook. I'll link that for you up at the top so you can go to that if you want to see how to do it. It's very simple though. The one thing that I will say is be sure that your composition notebook is made in Vietnam for the best paper. I've had a lot of people on my TikTok channel ask me about what the difference is. I don't know. They clearly treat it with something, and I accidentally got one of these same brands that was not made in Vietnam. The paper was just so subpar. There's no comparison to the composition notebooks that are made in Vietnam. I do have some linked, but I will say I picked this up at my local drug store, which is at a Walgreens, but just make sure that it's made in Vietnam. Okay, let's do the flip through. Quite a bit in this particular composition notebook journal is my writing or journaling. I have kind of learned to write in a very asemic method where it's really hard to read, because I was finding when I was doing these flip throughs or showing something on social media, I was covering my writing. Honestly, it's twofold. One, I didn't want to show my personal journaling for all the world to see. Not that anybody really cares, not that it's earth-shattering, but it's personal. But the other part of that is I find that I journal quicker, I write quicker whenever I'm writing very messy, and I try to just skip over any mistakes. I don't worry about it, punctuation, that sort of thing. So it gets real messy. So it's kind of twofold how it's worked, but I will probably skip through several of those. Like this, you can probably read some of this, but, and sometimes it's messier than others. My method is I watercolor and then I let it dry, and that's what I write on. I love it. I love the crinkle. It's a very tactile thing for me. That may be really weird to a lot of people, but it works for me and I like it. But this is out of an old book. I did the cover there. And then again, this is how I try to cover my writing with some tissue, but I'm going to kind of skip through quick. And you can see I do a lot of these cards that are little tip-ins. I use things that are events that I have attended. Of course, my fruit and veggie stickers that I love. Use a lot of packaging in these, like a junk journal. And then I like to glue pages together to give them a thicker page. Just do art or creativity. I like to add things. This is where I do a lot of experimentation with my supplies. These are some tea bags. And these are actually where I laid the tea bags to dry, and then I added the tags. Tea bags are fun to use in a journal. Again, I was doing a lot of journaling. This is just where I've wiped brushes off. I will just open a page and wipe off, or again, experiment. I did some hand cut stamps there. A lot of writing again, experimentation. I was doing a daily journaling prompt during this time. So again, there is a lot of writing in this one. Packaging. This is some grid journaling. I've done this several times in many of these books. This is from Kelly Wynn Studios, and I will try to remember to link that. Everything that I do in here that I've gotten from another class or from some other artist, I will try to link below for you. It was one of my favorite pages of the year. I love this page so much. Love it. I would love to have a print of this. I need to try to recreate this. But see, the problem is when I do something like this as an experiment in this type of journal, it's loose I don't worry about it. And then when I try to do it on something a little more precious, I have a difficult time getting the same effect. Do you have that same problem? Let me know in the comments if you find that you have the same issue. Again, more events, more packaging. This was a page that I did using a Dina Wakley stencil. Little collage that I did. More packaging and mail. This particular spread has many layers of tissue and deli paper collaged on top. This was a recreation of a page that I did several years ago, and I actually have, I think, a video here on YouTube showing that process from the first one that I did, and I love how this turned out. And again, these were called the Thickers, and they were from, I think, Making Memories, and these are some old scrapbook supplies. This was some art that my granddaughter and I did together. I love when I'm with them and they want to play with me and do some art. That's kind of fun. I cut these little paper dolls out of book pages, and I love the way this page turned out. Several of these spreads like this are from what I call my morning mark making practice, and I do need to do a video that explains that a little more in depth, but I actually spend 5 to 10 minutes each morning just creating marks or gluing down fodder or collage. Again, a lot of journaling through here because this was the first of the year and I was doing some journaling prompts. This page was so ugly to me that I just did some experimentation, cut some circles out. I think this turned out so well. I love it. It's like taking something ugly and making it fun. I purchased an old typewriter at the first of the year. I was doing some typing. This was some gift wrap. Again, this is just I had several things just laying on my desk here, and so I just glued them in. And then I was cleaning out a purse, and I always keep my fortunes from my fortune cookies, and I pulled several of those out. A lot more journaling here. And I was journaling so much that I didn't even watercolor on this page. And I got to, you know, like February, and then all of a sudden I started a new notebook and I haven't journaled that much. It's kind of weird how I go through phases. I actually put extra pages in this notebook because I was trying to finish up these prompts. This is all of it. I always add some type of bag or something in the back to keep extra things in that don't make it into my composition notebook. And that is a flip through of volume 6. And this, like I said, this spanned 6 months, which is the longest time. Probably the one that I'm working on now. It may even be longer, who knows? But I'll be back with another flip through. I've got a couple of other art journals and sketchbooks that I have not done flip throughs of. So I will do those and add them, and I will try really hard in the second half of 2024 to be better about posting on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I would appreciate if you would give me a thumbs up, a like, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of this flip through. Let me know if you're also an art journaler or a junk journaler or a smash book, glue book type person. I always love to connect with other people who enjoy the same creativity hobbies that I do. Thanks for watching.